How's it going, everyone? Sessiion here. Welcome to Final Fantasy XIV. We have the official, completed patch notes for 7.0, aka Dawntrail. The expansion, of course, will be coming out tomorrow, so of course we have a lot of things to cover up and a lot of things to catch up on. So, we will go over the majority of the patch notes that are listed here today, and we will cover the job actions and all those changes come tomorrow when we stream the release of Dawntrail Early Access. So let us check this out. I can't wait for this. I can't wait for this game. It's been a long journey, and I've been absolutely in love with the game overall. So I'm really excited to see how it all plays out going into Dawntrail. It was with great pleasure that we announced the patch notes for 14 Dawntrail have been released in their entirety, including all you need to know about job action materia and more. Okay. So, let's see, we have ourselves the playable content, we have new cities of Tuliyola and Solution 9, it looks so clean. Although I still wonder the scary mystery of like, what's going to change between this from this. There's like a really big gap difference. I'm not too sure about it actually. And of course we have Urkopacha, which is that mountainous area we keep on seeing that looks really awesome. Then we have Kozamauka, which they did mention this area having it's the place with the waterfalls and like the rocks. I know that, yeah, that formation. And then there is Yaktel, which is where this underground place is, and they actually showcased it really well during the live letter, where similar to if you know the Undercups or the Tempest from Shadowbringers, it's like a super large area where you have like a overworld and like an underworld, but like even if you're down here in this bottom area, the sun is actually still up. So if you were to fly up, they kind of showcases this too. It actually covers the sun in its entirety with this mountain area, or this forest area, and it's so cool actually. So the transition for this will be really, really awesome to see in like full time, you know. Then we have Shabalani, which it honestly reminds me of the show Westworld, where it's like cowboys, but then underneath all of this is like super high technology based stuff, and I don't know, I just got like a really uneasy feeling about that being the case scenario, so we'll have to wait and see what's to come, a lot more what's to come. And then Heritage Found, which is a mysterious like connection, I guess, to Solution 9. But this place is actually like empty. Last we checked, they barely showed the city area, if it is a city area. I don't even know actually, but I was under the impression that it was like deserted. So we'll see how it plays into the story. We have new city fields and ether currents added. These look really cool. The number of ether currents in Endwalker areas have been reduced. This is to kind of compensate because it's an old expansion. They've been doing this recently for, you know, just making it easier to acquire flying, which is fun. And then of course you have quests. So of course new Mirror quest in this scenario. There's many cases where patch notes can only cite an initial quest in the series, or omit them entirely to prevent spoilers. So of course you have to explore those as well. So we have obviously so many quest lines. There's Koana with the gun looking all fancy schmancy. But of course we won't really have a clue until we actually, you know, get into that story mode. Then we got some side stories. Okay. Bottles? Oh, yeah, so essentially you can actually acquire a free bottle of Fantasia. Ever since they announced the new Rothgar female coming out with this expansion, they've kind of given everyone an opportunity, and I think also with the graphics update as well, that you'll be able to get a Fantasia bottle for your character, so you can just have a free use of, you know, whether you want to change or, you know, make a detail. I probably won't use it, but we'll see. Then we have role quests. So these are also part of the jobs that, if you remember from Endwalker, where you had to, towards the end, complete like a tier, it actually allowed you to dye the level 89 like roll gear that you get towards the end. So this is a very similar ordeal to what it is with you know, splitting it within tank, melee, phase range, caster, and healer. So you will most likely be required to some degree to complete this, if not in its entirety. So I mean, for one role, you won't have to do all 5. However, similar to Endwalker, there is a reward that you get for completing every single one. So I do highly recommend that you crack out all of these when they come out. New jobs have been added, of course. We got the Enter the Viper. You can unlock it in Ul'dah, and then there's Pictomancer, which you can get in Gridania, and those jobs will be found there. I know for sure a lot of people have logged out by those areas so that they can just log in and quickly pick them up. So if you did that, good for you. But if not, then at least here you can pick up Pictomancer as well as Viper. And then the Wachu Meki Meki deliveries have been added. This is for your disciple of land and hand. So it's kind of similar to what we've been introduced with Shadowbringers, where you'll work on your Steam level and then you'll turn things in and then you get scripts for it and be able to not only work on your script gathering but also even like leveling up. This is going to be a pretty good way to level up your roles. So I do highly recommend you crack at this as well. And there will be a quest line for this when this has all been completed and maxed out that you'll be rewarded for as a result of doing all of this. Again, similar to something we've seen in the previous expansions. Let's see. Players can now temporarily hide the display of nearby player characters when interacting with quest-related NPCs or objects. So this is actually a really big update. They did touch on this lightly in the previous live letter, but this is actually one of the biggest W's of a update quality of life that you can actually include. So as you know, with the release of Dawntrail, and also any major patch with that as well, whenever they actually create a new patch of questline, everyone has this tendency to go through it all together at the same time, which actually makes it a little bit jarring because you have to actually like, you know, sift through all the players to find the quest NPC, and chances are also people will be kind of like, you know, you'll have your camera in a certain angle, and then there's just a person who's, you know, they're not aware, but they're going to be covering up your camera. So what this will do is literally hide players that are close to the NPC so you can just see them, and then when you interact with the NPC, the actual radius of people that disappear temporarily will increase when you're actually in interaction with them. So it hides it hides players when you're close to a quest NPC, and also it'll hide nearby players when interacting with them. So this is also a toggleable option, so you're not required to put this on, but I do think that to a strong degree, I highly recommend you turn this on, especially if you like that immersion of making it seem like you're the only player that's actually doing the story in the moment. I'm going to 100% take advantage of this. This is one of my biggest quality of life updates that I'm in love with, so I cannot wait to actually continue this moving forward. Quest objectives that require following NPC can now utilize visual indicators to help players avoid detection. So now there is I guess it's like yellow now, but this is the red tank cluster icon, but now it's the yellow one. And this is to help when you are unable to be approached by the NPC when you're like chasing them around or following them in secrecy. You know, maybe you might be seeing that in Dawntrail a little bit. They really enjoyed this function in Endwalker, so I think them utilizing it in Dawntrail makes sense because, you know, there is a lot of mystery and lore ongoing with regards to the story for Dawntrail. So this will be another great indicator. So it'll highlight the person that can't be seen, that shouldn't be able to see you, and also the indicator that you shouldn't approach the circle. If you do so, then you will be caught. I personally enjoyed not having this visibility listed, so I'm only hoping it doesn't really indicate that you can turn this off. If I had to personally request it, I would take this out. This is more so an accessibility option for those who want it, but I'm personally I preferred that I didn't have this on. Before it was like a cone, so we'll see. Players can select icons in the duty list to carry out quest objectives such as using emotes or opening the crafting line. So this is awesome actually, because one thing that was a bit daunting, and I guess this is also a change that has been requested for apparently years on end. It wasn't like a small change. It's been actually heavily implemented or indicated in like the forums and also in conversation. So now basically you don't have to open up the menu of all your emotes and then search the emote or type the emote. You can just click on the icon here and you can actually so in this case scenario you would target Wuklamot and then you'd use this emote and then it would just work. So you don't actually have to target and then search the menu, and then it's much more smooth in terms of being able to actually do this function, which is really cool. So, and as of the release of Dawntrail, this feature is only applicable to quests implemented in 7.0 implementation. For past quests, it's planned for future updates. So they are, so long story short, they are only currently implementing this for Dawntrail questlines. So for Endwalker Shadowbringers, if there are any kind of emoting necessities, quest-wise, they're going to add that later. But at least for Dawntrail's sake, that's really good. Players may now adjust text auto-event settings to apply only to voiced dialogue. This is a really nice change too, because if you wanted to separate the ability to press the confirm button to actually keep reading the text, you can do that when it's in dialogue, when it has a little icon that has a little arrow, or when there's no dialogue actually being happened with like a voice line. Now you can actually adjust it to only apply to voice lines, which is great because that means that you can read at your own pace when it comes to non-voice lines, and then you can naturally have it play itself out in terms of the voice line dialogue in the game. So, good change. To help alleviate issues with misinputs when completing quests and objectives require entering phrases that in chat mode say certain half-width and full-width characters will not be treated as the same character when typing. Okay, that's cool. So, yeah, I mean it's pretty much straightforward. I actually like that change as well. The categorization of sorry, I already said the word, so I'm so sorry. A certain Allied Society quests have been adjusted. Yeah, so they went from beast tribes, and then in Endwalker they recategorized it to be called tribal quests. Now they're recategorizing it again to be Allied Society quests. I'm not too sure why they keep on making this change. I guess it is to kind of like respect culture to a degree. I do apologize in advance, but I think I've had it's like the muscle I've had this entire time where I can't fix it. Because I literally almost said beast tribes. So in my mind, they're still beast tribes, but I understand that they're changing it to Allied Society. I'll do my best to respect the title of this to actually like indicate the correct name, but that's gonna be tough. Certain quest battles can no longer be undertaken using limited jobs. Yeah, so hilariously enough, you can actually play Blue Mage, but they're taking that out, which makes sense. But so you know, it is what it is. Leaves. New tradecraft and field class has been added. Yep. Experience points rewarded for using a disciple of hand class or fisher at level 90 or above to complete a leave within a level requirement below 90 has been capped at 1,000. Yeah, so basically you just can't use old leaves to level up a job at level 90 and above. It'll just use like new leaves. That's for sure. We got new fates. We get the body color gemstones, of course, as well. Tepley is going to be our gemstone trader, at least for some areas. It'll change across the board for every area, so. Furthermore, to continue to complete fates in these new areas, gemstones offer a wide section of items. Yeah, so basically, there's going to be 6 areas to choose from, and there is a reward for completing all 6 areas. There is a vendor. Most likely the vendor will be in Solution 9, and you will want to cap these out. The way how it works is there's 3 ranks. You're going to have 0 to 6 to complete fate-wise, and then you'll unlock rank 2. I think it goes to 10, and then it goes to 60. I think so. But either way, you're going to end up doing this, like, fates, like 300 and something, 70 times, for, like, every single area. There is a reward for completing all the areas here for fates, so I do highly recommend it. The maximum store of bicolor gemstones has been increased from 1,000 to 1,500. That's actually a good change as well. I cannot argue that like you will easily cap out 1,000 gemstones like very quickly. It's really funny actually. So increasing it a little bit is actually like a nice change. Fates that grant a bonus experience points gained will also now grant a bonus to earn bicolor gemstones. That's a really great change actually, and I think that's also the reason why they increased the total amount as well. So if you somehow fight like a unhappy maiden. Wait, the forlorn maiden. Sorry, unhappy like Yu-Gi-Oh. There isn't a forlorn maiden that you can actually defeat in the middle of a fate, and it'll give you a bonus to your next fate. So it didn't give you bonus gemstones with that, and now it will. So that's really cool. The game client will now respond more quickly when opening the shared fate window or changing between categories. This is actually great. So if you were to switch between tabs like 3 to 2, so obviously it's like Shadowbringers is 1, Endwalkers 2, and then we have Dawntrail for 3. If you were to switch between these tabs, it actually like loaded quite a lot to actually give you the next area. So now it's faster, which is cool. Large-scale fates that take place at fixed locations will now also appear on the map like regular fates. This is really cool. So yeah, it's weird though, because where the fates occur is in the same place every single time, but they don't appear on the map. I never actually understood how they didn't do that, but it works though, so like it's fine. Treasure Hunt. The following additions and adjustments have been made to treasure apps. Lobo skin treasure maps and Brock skin? Okay, have been added. Say that word twice as fast. Rewards for Saiga's treasure maps, Kumbra skin treasure maps, and Ophiotoro skin treasure maps have been adjusted. Yeah, so that's just it. They adjusted like the guild, the tones you get, etc. Tunes reward for completion of those treasure maps have been changed from elegant tunes of causality and comedy to poetics. That's pretty much what that is. So there you go. The Excitotron 6000 and the shifting Gymnasium Agnon will now be level synced and just increase level 90. Yep. Grant Company and Free Companies. Additional items will be accepted for supply and provisioning missions, which is cool. Viper and Pictomaster symbols options have been added to the charge category or the company crest editor, which is also cool. New customable items added to the company workshop. Everyone has been going like nuts over this house. This house is very, very cool looking. It's a very good designed house in terms of like its inclusion to this game. I know that people, at least in the live stream, have been really enjoying this design, so I hope you guys all look forward to it. And the following additions and adjustments have been made to some aquatic voyages. New areas, new items, and submersible rank increased from 115 to 120. Now we've got housing. So ward classifications have been adjusted for residential districts on certain worlds. The changes go into effect on Saturday at 8 a.m. PDT or 11 a.m. my time. And all worlds in Dynamis Center, Phantom Center Series, Alpha, and Raiden, you have all of these now housing. So yeah, there is no housing currently in Dynamis with the new worlds. There's 4 new worlds added very recently, and then I think these worlds are in the EU data center, so they're going to be able to have that classification established now. So wards 1 through 6 will have free companies only, and then wards 7 through 20 will be for private buyers, and then 21 through 34 is private, 25 is free company, and then 26 through 29 is private and orb free, and then 30 is private. So there you go. The estate holder rights system has been implemented. Players can now eject characters from the estate hall or garden and bar characters from entering their property. So hilariously enough, people were really joking about this on Twitter, which I totally understand too, because it's actually really funny. But you know, this game is an RPG, so obviously people like to roleplay. And we have like people who like to hang out at houses. So if you are hanging at someone's house and then you get ejected for like a reason that, you know, whatever, they can actually just eject you and kick you out of the house because you either party too hard or not at all, you know. So this is a really hilarious moment that people can talk about. To bar a character from your property, you must first be on your estate grounds and have the requisite authority. Target the character you wish to bar and then select bar from property. In the subcommand menu, then choose register as barred character. They'll be ejected from the estate grounds and moved to the housing area entrance. Barred characters will remain on the barred characters for 10 days. During this time, anytime sent to the estate or hall or garden will instead transfer them to housing area entrance. Oh wow, so you can't even try and go back in, they just take you back to the entrance? Wow, that's gonna be crazy. Okay. Very funny. But also very cool. Free company estate. Master is the main right holder main appointments of 4 free company members as secondary rights holders. Okay. Okay, and the personal estate is the same thing but for 3. And then apartment is... Oh, there's no secondaries. Okay, that's cool. After entering the lottery for an estate, viewing the placard for a different plot before committing the results of your entry will now remind you of the estate address you, the plot you bid on. Oh, that's really cool. Okay, so it'll remind, so if you're bidding at like multiple houses, it'll just remind you the original place you bid on. So I actually really like that because sometimes I get lost. I won't lie to you. Furnishings from the 14 design contests have been added. So this is really cool. I really like a lot of these designs as well. I definitely like this a lot. That chandelier is very cool. Although it reminds me of those grapes from Shadowbringers. So like, we'll see. Is that a pool? I think it's a pool. It's really cool. I like that top, this like little upper hangout area. That's really cool. So of course as well with housing, we got new furnishings. Crafting facility furnishings can be used by crafting costs up to level 90. In accordance with the character increased level cap. Level 100 striking dummies have been added as well. Of course they picked this design, so it's going to be amazing to see. New equestrian rolls, new fish, new power pots, all that fun jazz. Moving on to the gold saucer, new prizes are available for purchase using MGP. Now, I don't think that this outfit is directly related to this. This looks like the Red Mage level 89 gear, but I think it's those glasses that are the prize you get in MGP stuff. So. But there are going to be new prizes. There should be a new, you know, those like super million mounts. There should be like a new one. The blackjack was the most recent one. So there may be like a 6 million or even like an 8 million mount. So we'll have to wait and see. The following additions have been added from Triple Triad. So new cards, new NPC opponents for Triple Triad have been added. You can now engage in Triple Triad in new areas. And of course the card numbers have been added to the item description for all the cards, which is very cool. I actually really enjoyed that change because I always can't find the cards that I'm looking for. So very cool. Miscellaneous. Players can now select female rock guard when creating a character, which of course has been a incredible thing to see, and also people having a lot of fun with the design as well in the benchmark. A winning entry from the 14 hairstyle design contest is now available. So we have this new contest that was made. Very cool. And then of course you have new hairstyles naturally. This is the meteor hairstyle. It kind of includes a little natural bun, which is cool. And of course I'm sure that there's more as well. The following addition and adjustments have been made to the trust system. So Crow has been added as a new avatar NPC. In accordance with the increased level character cap, the character cap is also gone to 100, and then of course new glimmers are unlocked when you reach the 100 for the avatar. They added the Dawntrail category to do support, which is awesome. And of course, they've been making adjustments in winter sales. So prizes available in exchange for Chloe's gold certificate of commendation, silver and bronze have been adjusted. This is the kind of compensation for Dawntrail rewards because they always do it with the current expansion. The following duties have been added to as objectives for winter sales. So now you can do Insinger's Aria and all the extremes. And then there's also level 99 to 100, sorry, 91 to 100 dungeons. Those are also added. And then the following raid alliances have been grouped together into raid series categories. So, in addition to these duties, will have the effect when it says position prior to race level 100 with at least one simple word magic. Completing any of these from series will be counted towards objectives, granting a seal. I see. So you have Eden 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's just Eden's Gate. Eden 4 through 8 is Verse, and then 9 to 12 is Promise. Yep. Alliance raids for Reborn, Heaven's Ward, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, and Endwalker, which is also very cool. I actually like that they consolidated because I mean, at least you can just do any one instead of having to do like a specific one. I don't mind the specificity, but I'm also cool with the fact that it's like the the all like grouped up, so that's cool. Dawntrail entries have been added to the sightseeing log. Skywatch NPCs have been added to new areas. The following additions and adjustments have been made to the Island Sanctuary. So when selecting the plus button on the Isleworks agenda interface, players can now choose whether to set an agenda or supply and demand as a default window when it opens. That's cool. The Sanctuary Gathering log can now be opened via the material allocation window. Oh my god, thank you. I actually really like that change. The material allocation will now save sorting settings. Okay. And then when selling materials in bulk via the Enterprising Exporter, the quantity set may not be saved for future selections. Okay, that's cool. Battle system. Okay. So the lower cap, of course, for all disciples of War Magic have been raised to 100. This also does not include Blue Mage. Viper and Pictometers have been added. They get unlocked at level 80. And of course, we've seen the incredible hype that is Viper as well as Pictometer. So the actions and traits for these jobs are here listed. We will be covering these later because it is very, very extensive, and I am going to want to. What I'll end up doing is I will cover the actual page listed for the job actions, and then we'll actually do like a demonstration of the job and then look at the changes of the potency and everything for that as well. So we'll actually like implement everything necessary for the job guides. So do stay tuned for that tomorrow. Same thing with actions and traits here. So all the job actions have been added and updated that we know about. So we've already seen like a good taste of it. So you can check that out here. The layout of the Blue Magic Spellbook interface has been adjusted. Cool. The following adjustments have been made to limit breaks. So monks can no longer change position when executing Final Heaven, and dragoons can no longer change position when using Dragons on Dive. Okay, so here's how this works. It's actually really funny. So let's say, for example, the boss is in a corner, or like at the edge of an arena, and then the monk or dragoon is using LB. The actual hitbox goes past the hitbox of the boss if it's centered, which means that you can actually use like Monk's LB and you'll actually fall off the map during the animation. I don't know if a Dragoon does that, but I know Monk does that for sure. Additionally, if you were, let's say like you had this AoE, which means that my hands, right, they kind of cover two hitbox areas of the AoE. Monk and Dragoon, if the timing is somehow terrible, you'll literally be in the middle of your LB, even though you're like safely in this little like pocket corner right here. You'll actually go in the hitbox, and then if the AoE can clip you mid LB animation and it can actually kill you. I think the damage goes off, but you still like get KO'd as a result. So they've adjusted that so you always stay in place and you never actually go. The animation won't change, but you actually character-wise going inside the hitbox and taking damage won't happen anymore. So I mean, it wasn't like a big deal, but you know, it's okay. Like this isn't a terrible. This is like a fine change. I don't think it happens often, but I mean, it is what it is. Player attributes have been adjusted as follows. Tenacity's effect on damage dealt, received, and HP restored has been increased. Now here's the thing. That's actually really interesting that they did that, because they've been trying to figure out how to actually allocate a lot of changes for some of the materia and stuff that we've been dealing with, like, statistically. So I don't exactly know what the affectation is in terms of damage dealt, received, and restored for Tenacity in particular. I'd like to think that right now Tenacity is slightly weaker than Determination, and I'd like to think that the Tenacity has gotten stronger, but I don't know if it's stronger than Determination. What I'm hoping, though, is that it's going to be a necessity for tanks to use in specific circumstances where you're doing a certain fight where, like, if you don't have Tenacity activated, obviously the attack will do like a lot more damage, but if you do have it, then it'll do like less damage. But it is I mean, I don't want it to be a requirement per se, but it'd be cool if you can actually play with Tenacity and actually do something very interesting with it. So, fingers crossed. Certain stats effects granted by class and job actions will now be removed when changing areas or entering an instance duty. Fair. Like Peloton, you can Peloton before you go into a thing, and like you'll keep Peloton. It doesn't make sense, but it's cool. The effects of a certain monster NPC action have been adjusted. I don't know what that means, but sure. I mean, I know what it means, but I don't know like which monsters, you know. The armory bonus granted below level 90 has been increased from 50 to 100, which is cool. In accordance with the increased level cap, new world and preferred world character bonuses now apply to all jobs at level 89 and below. So basically, we have a buff in the game called Road to 80 if you join a new world or preferred character world. They just changed it to Road to 90. So that's it. We got new enemies. I actually really like that, and I like that. That thing scares me, and that is even scarier. So we'll say, evil pineapple dude. New dungeons have been added. Of course, we don't know the name of it. I don't actually. Yeah, this one is different. These three are separate from this one, and of course, they don't show us the final dungeon, which is fine. Although people might argue it's this one. I don't think so. After beginning a boss encounter in dungeons, newly introduced in patch 7.0, the shortcut will warp players to take them to the boss's area entrance. Cool. In accordance with the increased level cap, players can now gain experience in level 90 dungeons, trials, and alliance raid dungeons. Now, I really hope that with this change, they actually fix that, because, well, not that it's not fixed, but when you try and do like 50 through 80 dungeon, you get a lot of like poetics and like tombstones for it, but you don't get a lot of XP. I really hope you get a lot of XP for doing level 90 dungeons and whatnot. It doesn't matter for trials and alliances raids so much, because you get the bonus for the alliance raids and trials for like queuing into it, but if you queue into an actual like 50 through 80 roulette, you don't get a lot of XP doing that. I hope that they fix that, because that's actually one of the few dailies that I skip because you don't get XP for it. So fingers crossed. New trials, you got Valley Garmonda. Unreal trials have been temporarily disabled. Yep, because they don't do it on the major patches. They do it for patches post the primary expansion. So we'll start seeing it at 7.1. The most recent patch we saw was Orden in 6.5. It might be Nidhogg, but I don't know if they actually confirmed which trial it is. They could also skip the Stormblood, because I also heard that Shinryu was going to be the next Unreal trial as well. So we'll see. Players can now see the Echo in the event all partners are incapacitated in the follow trials of Bristol Fracture and Gilded Aria, which is cool. You get also a bonus for the Bristol Fracture Extreme. The strength of Echo has been granted in Pandemonium, and Abyssio Savage has been increased, so now it's 20%, which is going to be a little bit easier to deal with, which is cool. The Spire of Trial in the expansion of Sessiion Sky has been added, so you got that, so you can test out your skills against the dummy. The weak restriction for receiving cracked Anthil clusters upon clearing Thalia has been removed. Boom. We got new elites. That flying sparrow is blue, which is cool. I don't want to like spoil it per se, but they did reveal a similar looking thing as like a mount. Different color, which is cool. I don't know what that thing is, but that looks scary. And also it's that freaking bird. Okay. Players can now hunt regular and elite marks in new areas. Yes, so of course you can. They're still keeping the sacks of nuts, apparently, which is an interesting thing there. People were thinking that there were going to be a new currency, but they actually are keeping the currency for that. So if you actually kept this from the previous expansion, good on you. So you can trade them, of course. Viper and Pigmenter's arms are now available from the following Deep Dungeon vendors. So you can actually do Palace of the Dead, Heaven on High, and Eureka Orthos to get Deep Dungeon weapons for Pigmenter and Viper, which is awesome. I feel like with this, I'm hoping that they actually announced something with the ultimate weapons for like UCOP, UUT, DSR, etc. But we'll see. Elegant tombstones of aesthetics have been added. You can maintain a maximum of 2,000 of these. Moreover, you only receive them when you're reaching level 100, which is very, very normal. This is the first currency set that we get. So this is kind of like the first one of like. So we had like astronomy in the previous expansion, and then it turns into Phantasmagoria, and then, or no, was it that? Was it Phantasmagoria? I don't actually remember. Anyways, so no, it was astronomy. Sorry. Yeah, astronomy was the first tier. There was one before this though, and then it turned into causality, which turned into comedy, and then comedy will turn into aesthetics, and then we're gonna get the later one announced, which we'll see in just a moment. The following additions and adjustments were made to the duty finder. Category names and the duty listed within each have been reorganized. Cool. 6.x duty can be undertaken using unrestricted party option, which is cool. When undertaking duties using unrestricted party, you can now enter the effect to leave. Oh, you can leave even during combat. Have you always been able to do that? I don't think so. I think you have to like restart and then you can leave. So the fact you can do that is actually really, really awesome. No, I think that's actually a brand new change, so that's awesome. The raid finder now only lists trials and duties within patch 7.0, which is correct. But the ultimates will still be available. So the Savage version section will just have all the Savage version stuff for Dawntrail stuff. Yeah. Duty finder. New duties for Dawntrail have been added to Duty Roulette Expert leveling and trials. Yep. Duty Roulette 50, 60, 80 dungeons and Duty Roulette 90 have been combined into high level dungeons. Oh, I like that actually. Because saying 50, 60, 70, 80 is such a mouthful. So at least now you can just call it a high-level dungeon. Which again, like, I really hope that by combining these 5 together, they give you a lot of XP, because that would actually be an awesome change if they did incorporate it. The type and number of elegant tombstones received from each duty roulette has been adjusted. So you get 80 aesthetics for expert, you get 100 for poetics, and then 120 aesthetics. Yep. Yep, you get 300. Okay, yeah, so they pretty much kept everything the same as it was. So that's cool. Adding high-level dungeons is such a nice way to clean up. Like, you basically took 2 categories and made it into 1. So now that there's 1 less category, actually so clean. And the name for 2 just makes total sense. The requirements and rewards for the Adventurer in Need bonus have been adjusted for Duty Roulette leveling and Alliance raids. Yep, so now it's from 80 to 90. And the reward you get is, instead of the Anther and Dinner clusters, you get the Nova clusters and the Prismatic clusters. Okay. So you get it from new materia. Okay, so the current materia is what, 9 and 10? So we're getting 11 and 12. Okay. The requirements to register for Duty Alliance rates have been changed. Players must meet the average item level requirements to consummate with the level of their current class or job at the time of registration. So it was to meet the average item level, now it's to meet the highest item level. People think that this is going to make it easier to queue into like higher level alliances. I don't actually think so, but I mean, I don't know. Let's like wait and see. PvP, so they actually added Viper and Pigmenters as well, which again, we'll check that out in tomorrow. They added new additions for the Wolf's Den, the Pier. So there's new items for trading with the crystals and the wolf marks. Series 5 will end and Series 6 will begin tomorrow. Oh, they were okay. So they actually revealed the oppressor as a mount in the patch or the live letter, and I didn't know what it was for. But the fact that it's part of the PvP reward, that actually makes so much sense. I actually loved it a lot. So that's really cool. So Series 6 will be held from patch 7.0 to the release of 7.1, during which you can play and earn Series XP, increasing your Series level by participating in the PvP duty, increasing your unlock rewards. So you can still claim your Season 5 rewards, but you can't actually work towards them. So whatever you have from before, hopefully you acquired your stuff. Series 6 starts tomorrow. Season 11 for Crystalline Conflict will end and the preseason begins. So Season 12 won't come out until, I think it's 7.1, right? So, alright, items. New items have been added. So this is the aesthetics. This is not the roll gear, obviously. This is the gear you get for using the new tombstones that are not the weekly. Like the aesthetics ones, the aesthetics are used to get this gear, which is going to be helpful. New recipes have been added, so due to the volume of recipes added with the release of 7.0, they won't be listed. We'll see them tomorrow. Faceware, a new form of accessories for the head, separate from the other equipable accessories, has been added. So now we have now you can wear like glasses and whatnot, which is cool. So face care can be acquired by using the corresponding items, such as copying of the faces we wear. Oval spectacles, once acquired, they can be fully equipped or removed at any time, and they have 12 colors. So they have a selection of colors. They don't actually let you pick the colors, which I think down the road they will change. They'll probably allow you to have it dyed in some way, shape, and form, like in the future. But for right now, at least, like the goal is to just kind of give you the option, which is awesome. 12 options is a lot, though, so they're for fun. And also, they've converted these fashion accessories into faceware. So you got the false oval, false shaded, false classic, and then rose colored. All those. So the fashion accessories will no longer appear in the fashion accessories window. However, players who acquire them prior to 7.0 may obtain corresponding faceware free of charge by talking to the Calamity Salvager in Limsa, Gridania, or Ul'dah, which is cool. It should also be noted that the items used to acquire these fashion accessories have not been removed from the game. If one's in your inventory or obtained via trading or the market board, it can also be used to obtain the corresponding faceware, which is awesome because you actually don't lose. You can just buy these now on the market board, and you don't lose anything for doing this, which is awesome. So the item icons for files of Fantasia and Retained Fantasia will now be included marker to distinguish them from one another. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so you get like a little personal icon versus like a bell. They are the same exact icon, just one is listed as Fantasia and the other one is Retainer Fantasia. So at least now you can at least see inventory without hovering over it, which one's which is cool. Certain items can be sold desensitized intimate for extra missions. Yep. Grade 11 and 12 materia have been added. Cool. The success rate of salvaging grade 9 and 10 materia when using retrieve materia has been increased. Grade 8 dark matter can use to repair 100 to... Okay. They still haven't actually changed the grade, the dark matter. You can still use grade 8, which is awesome. So, I'm glad. I was kind of waiting to see grade 9, but the fact that it's still grade 8 is pretty cool. Viper and Pictomancer have been added as required jobs for certain gear. Yep, so all the scouting gear will be applied to Viper, and all the caster gear will be applied to Pictomancer. The following items are no longer classified as unique. What? Oh, that's it. Okay, gotcha. Unique. My bad. I was like, I thought that meant like, Okay, anyways. So yeah, it's all the tome accessories. So the Moonward ring, Augmented Radiant ring, that was for like DSR. This is for top, and then that was for the most recent Savage Seer of Anabasios. I mean, Anabasios, Abyssos, and Astradelos. This was like prior to that for the trials. The following additions and adjustments to the dies. So of course we got the brand new die system. So it's a 2 dies can be used on a single piece of gear. This actually looks incredible for something. This is the reference Cuirass. Oh, it's up there. This is the level 89 tank or paladin gear. So now that the way that it looks like it's dyeable is actually so clean. Again, we're gonna spend tomorrow spending a lot of time looking at all the changes that they may have made to dyes with regards to gear in the game. So we'll definitely take a very deep dive in what that looks like. Gears that allow more than one die will be displayed 2 different dice types in the item die window. Additional gear that allows for multiple dice will be added gradually in the future of time. So not every single piece of gear in the entire game will be released on launch tomorrow with early access, with being able to be double dyed. It's going to be applied for. I think what they did was they confirmed that all gear from Dawntrail moving forward is double dyed. And they said that various gear, they prioritized it basically for Endwalker and Prior. I can tell you with certainty that they did change how it'll work for like the crafted stuff. So Yoshi P used the spring dress set as an example, which is a level 1 set. So a lot of that level 1 stuff will be automatically double dyed. So most likely a lot of things that aren't double dyed are going to be some of the gear between levels like, 10 to maybe like 70, and some of the grade gear. So like they probably didn't do like Alexander or like Omega, but they did do everything else. I mean, I think they touched a lot up on Shadowbringers and Endwalker, I'm assuming. So we'll see. And if they didn't, they'll just add it over time. So undo color and redo color buttons have been added to the dyeing window. After you click select the color, you can make a favorited dye, and then also you can actually prefer or preview preferred color schemes. So that's what the favorite and the color scheme is for up here. So you can actually pick the ones that you have, and then that way, like, let's say you have these 2 colors, they'll appear here as like previously applied, and you can actually just you click this button, and then it'll just auto-apply it in the same format, which is really, really cool. And this button lets you actually swap the position of the dies. So if you have like a red and like a white here, this button will make it white and then red. It makes it a lot easier for just coloring and customization, so which is cool. All right. The furnishing, ceiling, and wax set is not dyeable. The following items can be equipped regardless of gender. Oh, the fairy tale stuff. Oh, okay, that's cool. I don't actually know what the prince gear looks like, but I know what the oh, actually, I think it's that blue set with the white pants. Actually, I do know that set. I know the princess set. I do have that. The I love the gloves, and the tiara is really, really cool. Sundry Splendors, a one-stop shop for gear and items purchased in exchange for elegant tunes and scripts added in Australian. So the person that you see in like all the major cities, that gives you all the like tome gear, and you can also see the like stuff you get for like totems and coffers and all that stuff for like the rates here. We're gonna get that in Australian, which is really cool. The layout of gear exchange ranges is unified. Cool. The following adjustments have been made to gear exchanges for tome sounds of Australian, and comedy. So gear that require the exchange of a base item and upgrade material can now be directly exchanged for poetics. So easy answer for this is going to be your the Manderville relic. You can just get poetics, use poetics to get them instead of like the other ones. The base items and upgrade materials for such gear can no longer be obtained from Toss Dungeons and Retainer Adventures, which is fair. Players who possess the base items such as for such gear may upgrade them in exchange for 100 poetics. New items have been added to the inventory of Calamity Salvagers. Yep. New items are available from Calamity Salvagers and Centrical Feathers. Oh, so you can get the Doctor stuff. Oh, okay. That's the level 44 stuff, I think. I think that's what that is. But I think this in particular, this is specifically for like Gladiators and Paladin, and this is actually for Black Mage. Pretty sure. Or is it White Mage? Or actually no. It's yeah, something like that. Or actually maybe this is both for Paladin. I just read here the Verdant Scepter. Yeah. Okay, so I think these are both for Paladin. Verdant Scepter and Warlock's Buckler will no longer drop separately in Arm Val. Instead, they drop together as a Black Mage Verdant Arms. Okay, so they're actually giving you the set overall for Black Mage. It's pretty cool. New items are available in exchange for societal currency from allied societies in 2.0 areas. Okay. There's new items actually for exchange, which is interesting. The time until actions may be used after consuming certain medicinal items has been reduced. Okay, so this is actually a big one. I did read this very briefly in the preliminary patch notes, and what people are under the heavy impression that you'll be able to double weave potions and actions. So right now, how the game works is like, with the amount of time between your actions, you can press 2 like OGCDs without falling off of your like your cooldown timer. So you can just, you can, if I'm a Gunbreaker, I can press like Keen Edge and then do like No Mercy and then Heart of Stone, and then I can do Brutal Shout and then lose no downtime for that. Apparently now you can do it with potions, which if you can, that's gonna be crazy actually. Because now people are gonna be able to double weave potions without clipping, which will be very, I'm not under the impression that it is potions, but everyone else is under the impression that it is potions. I don't know why, I just didn't think that it was potions. I figured that this was going to be used for like cordial and like crafting and that kind of thing, but not specifically for like battle content. But I don't know, I hope I'm wrong. If you can double weave potions, that'd be sick actually. After using the following items to grant a boost experience points earned from synthesis, a message will not be displayed when the effect expires. Oh, okay, so the manuals will actually expire and they tell you it? That's cool. The level cap for Disciples in Hand have been increased to 100. Yep, Orange Crafter Scripts and Gatherer Scripts have been added to those jobs as well for 100. So they kept, they got rid of white and yellow, and then they're keeping purple. No. Oh, no, yeah, okay, wow. They're changing white to purple. Yellow is getting removed, and then we get purple and orange then. Okay, interesting. Yeah. So white crafters are no longer obtainable. They can't be used. They can be used for conversion, but no longer for item exchanges. And then they got rid of yellow and they kept purple. Okay, gotcha. The amount and type of crafters and gatherers scripts received from the customization has been adjusted. The following has been made to collectibles. The experience points rewarded for when delivering collectibles will be same dice per item, and the amount received no longer being reduced at a lower level, which is actually kind of a big deal. So we'll see. And then EXP points rewarded when using a class level 90 or above to deliver collectibles that are level 90 and below are capped at 1,000. Yeah. And then there's new strikes and actions for Crafters and Gatherers. They removed the focus synthesis and focused touch for crafters, which is interesting. They have increased the following adjustments for crafter actions. They remove the reflect has been increased from 100 to 300%, which is crazy actually. Advanced touch is now required at 68 and it was previously 84. Okay, interesting. The categories under recipes in the crafting log have been adjusted. Oh, okay, so restorations 1 through 4 is just restoration. Cool. And then there's new actions for the gatherers. The following minor and botanist actions can only be used when the gathering point is at maximum integrity. They actually force you now to be unable to use solid reason and wise of the world. Solid reason increases your integrity by 1, and then wise of the world gives you a free integrity, a +1 also when you basically hit like 4 in a row, I think it is, of the of something. So no, you can't do it on purpose. So you don't lose out on that. So that's really cool. There's new botanist and minor points for gathering. There's new items to gather. The gathering window now displays the integrity when you're gathering a point, which is actually a really great change. I like this a lot. Even though like the health bar was still a really easy way to see it, at least you have a much more fluid way of finding it when you're in the middle of gathering. Fishing holes have been added, new teaming water has been added. The bait and tackle window now display a swim bait, a new form of bait obtained when using level 91 fish action Spearful Hand. Very cool. The fish guide will now indicate whether a fish requires precision or powerful hooks to catch, which is awesome actually. I like that change. The following increase in level cap, following the increase in level cap, the following adjustments have been made to rewards obtained while ocean fishing. So now, from 1 to 49 you get experience points, from 50 to 99 you get experience and purple gatherers, and then at level 100 you get purple and gatherer, for an orange rather, so cool. GP will no longer be used to reduce to 0 when players are incapacitated as a non-gathering class. Very cool. So basically, if you are in the wild and you're playing as a dancer and then you get KO'd by like an S rank, and then you immediately switch over to gatherer, you will have 0. They've basically fixed it so that you always have max when you change classes from when you're incapacitated. So that's really cool. Spear Bond is gained when gathering will now be based on the gear's equipment level rather than its item level. Cool. Players now receive a bonus to spear bonding when landing a big fish or legendary fish. Regional folklore has been added. Yep. New items that can be used for ethereal reduction have been added. They've made new changes to desynthesis. The level cap is now increased to 710 from 650. When using quick desynthesis, canceling will now close the window if all items have been desynthesized, which is awesome. And then abstracting the entire stack box for desynthesizing, it'll remain checked even after desynthesizing unstackable or single items. Okay. We got new mounts, we got new minions. That I love this background. This is such a really cool. This is like my favorite picture I think so far in the entire expansion of this patch notes. New bardings, new fashion accessories. We did see that umbrella. That umbrella is cool. Okay, system graphical update. A number of features have been implemented following our first graphical update. So they improve the movement of certain weapons, tools, and gears. Character tilting when using mounts. Certain environment effects such as water splashing and smoke will now appear even darker in shadow of nearby objects. There is wavering distortion when underwater, and subtle eye movements for player characters and certain NPCs. Very cool. So like, yeah, I mean, it's all there. So they've also improved all of these awesome changes. With a few exceptions, these updates apply to all content implemented in 7.0. Graphical updates will be applied gradually to older content in future updates. So they didn't cover everything, but they did cover a majority of what's important. So as you can see, you can actually see what else. Like this is the before, and then this is the after. This is the before into the after. Really cool. Alright, system. The following additions means character creation. These additions have also been applied to character editing via Fantasia, routine selection, and character editing via the Sessiion. So there's a new lighting option for the ethereal background, which is awesome. Character combat voice lines have been sampled, so now you can actually sample what it's like when you're in the middle of attacking and being taken damage, which is cool. Class selection is now grouped by roles. Oh, because it's based off of cities currently, I think, right? No. Oh no, I think it's between just war and magic. So now it's based off of rolls. That's cool. When using the Sessiion display of headgear and facewear cannot be toggled on and off. When editing a character's appearance by way of Fantasia, players will have 60 minutes of in-game playtime from the initial usage to re-edit their appearance as many times as they desire. Yep, this has been a change that they've been talking about a lot of, so this has been cool. A new marker board has been added to Toliolo. In accordance with the addition to the new marker board, reduced tax rates have been adjusted. The addition and adjustments made to retainers. Retainers can then be registered to the Toliolo market. You can now create female rockstar retainers. They go to 100, and you can give them Viper and Pigmentor. They do need to be level 80 though in order to be able to get these changes. So like, that's tough, basically. So yeah, you can't, if you have a retainer, you cannot make them a Viper or Pigmentor until they hit level 80, because that's when the jump comes out. So yeah. That's just a long wait. If you start from like level 1, I'm just like letting you know. There is an easy way to like go from 1 to 80 really fast, but like it's a lot though. New achievements, new elite marks. The guild cost for teleport has been adjusted. Yeah, this is a weird one actually. I feel like they they adjusted the teleportation rate between going from one place to another for sure. You know, so I mean, I'm very curious about how this is gonna like work out. I think the cap is still 2,000 gil, but they're definitely going to change the pricing of going from like, you know, Dawntrail area to the moon in like Mari, for example, or like Ultima Thule, but like, we'll see. So, with the addition of new areas, the world map has also been adjusted. The following adjustments have been made to maps. So, on the map of Valenza Lower Decks, the position of the red arrows indicating the boundary areas have been adjusted, and now all maps will display a high resolution quality, so they actually removed the graphic setting for this. Cool. In the player search menu, they've added Viper and Pigmentor, and then some point areas are added under custom. When editing search info, the online status pull-down menu has been increased. Cool. The following adjustments made to target information. The target's remaining percentage, no, HP is set to be displayed as a percentage. Decimal values will not always be shown. When setting display only effects that you inflict is enabled, it will only be applied to enemy targets. Cool. The following additions and adjustments made to the actions and traits window. So now there's a default view of the actions set by separate actions that can and cannot be assigned to the hotbar. A new option has been added to allowing players to choose whether certain actions will be replaced by another on the hotbar when executed, which is cool. And then you can add an option to enable a recast timer to prevent erroneous inputs of the actions. I will tell you this now. The action change thing is really cool. I love that you can actually select whether you wanted to change into it or separate the button. I love that so much. However, what I will tell you is you will not want to turn this on. I would highly recommend you keep this disabled, because that time, I think the time for it is like a second, but I don't think that it's going to be, I mean, you can at least customize it per role too, which is helpful. But I think from like a very strong perspective, the easy job I can think of for this is Dark Knight, because Salted Earth turns into Salt and Darkness, and you can separate those buttons too. But you're gonna want to like have to try and you can like do them both kind of like instantaneously if you like time the timing correctly. So to create that kind of delay is gonna be like tough to deal with actually. So I don't recommend that. Anywho, the following additions and adjustments have been made to Java gauges, so now they have been adjusted to a degree. It'll be listed in the Java gauge details. The display of Java gauges can be disabled via the HUD layout menu. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know why though, but that's okay. The parameters used for the text command and jump HUD mode have been adjusted. The parameters used for... Wait, I heard that. Wait, the parameters used for the text command jump HUD mode have been adjusted. Oh, I see. A glamour guide has been added to the following windows explaining the usage of various fashion-related features such as dyes and glamours. Boom. Descriptions in the help menu of the emotes window have been adjusted. When viewing a repair request, the item details will not include information pertaining to dyes and the fixed materia, which is actually really cool. So you actually can see like what gear they're using and if it's materia'd or dyed when you're repairing. So, and they can see yours too, which is cool. When viewing items attached to a log ladder, the item details will not include dyes and materials. Cool. Oh, the new adventure test, the spot icon, has been adjusted. So now you can either have less than 200 hours or not have completed the final Endwalker expansion. So if you get like a skip and you start doing the quest line for the thing, then yeah, you don't get that stuff somewhere. Which is fine. The bonus to experience points earned when adventure forms a party with a new adventurer or returner will now apply until level 90. In accordance to the increased level cap, the requirements for new adventures have been adjusted as follows. So you have to pretty much just go from level 90 to 100 for all your jobs, and you have to complete 1,000 dungeons and trials, and also have 15 player accommodations. So the only change this time around, they increased this last time. It was 1,000, now it's 1,500, but now they only made it so that it's level 100. So that's cool. And this applies to crafter and gatherers as well. And then you renew it. Yeah, you just renew it, and that's it. So there you go. A log message will not be displayed when newly created characters or preferred worlds meet the requirements to receive deal bonuses. Cool. The following adjustments are made to adventure plates. We got new accents. There's new accents and portraits. Okay. New poses, and when viewing the editing portrait interface, new filters are available for background from the accent list. So you can actually like do this now. It was, well, this one is obtained or unattained, and then this one was actually it wasn't there. Now it's just there. That's cool. New stickers. When using the monitor with a resolution wider than 16:9, screenshots taken from certain cutscenes or with certain frames in group poses will have copyright information placed within the bounds of a 16:9 resolution. Okay. The information is displayed in screenshots has been adjusted as follows. Oh, okay. So instead of having this whole thing, it just says this. That's cool. Duties that can be recorded. The video duty recorder have been changed. So before it was these three, now it is this. I'm guessing these are the trials for the future, so we'll see. The log message that displays when a congested area is inaccessible has been adjusted. A button to temporarily hide the display of the child log has been added. That's really cool, actually. I might actually use that. The following changes have been made to alarms. They just increased alarms. I've never used alarms in this game. I should look into that, actually. And then the blacklist. A lot of adjustments made to the blacklist as well. So characters registered to the blacklist will be hidden. So if you're blacklisted on my list, then I can't see you in the game. Also, messages from that person blacklisted will be hidden. Blacklisting will apply to all characters tied to the blacklisted characters' service accounts. So that means that if you have 4 characters, and you have one person blacklisted on one character, it's blacklisted for every character. That's just how that's going to work. So, the blacklist tab is removed from the social window and will now be displayed in its own window found under social in the main menu. Players can now save comments regarding blacklisted characters, and blacklisted characters and all characters typed source account will also be subject to the list of blacklisted list. Cool. There's also a mute list. So, also found under the social in the main menu. Messages from new players will apply to all characters tied to the service account. While messages can't be seen, if members of the party or lines are displayed, it will say that they are speaking when they're in a duty with them. And then also, you can temporarily display muted messages, so if there is a message that the person writes, you can actually view it. There's a term filter added, which is awesome actually. This is going to make life way easier for dealing with those bots and amongst and other things. So that's cool. And then in order to reduce server congestion upon release 7.0, the following measures will be implemented temporarily. So you will not be able to travel between worlds, or sorry, I can't English. The use of the data center travel system world visit system will be restricted for certain worlds and data centers. So basically, Ether cannot go to Crystal, Crystal can go to Ether, Primal, etc. So between those 3 servers, you can't go anywhere. But all 3 of those servers can go to Dynamis. That's how it is. So all 4 used to travel between each other. Now it's strictly like those that you can go take those 3 and then go to that 1. So we'll see how quickly we break the game as a result. Players who are inactive for 30 minutes will be logged out automatically. They're bringing this back for the temporary use of the MSQ with Dawntrail's release because the game gets very heavy, and then new areas are split into multiple instances. So players can now use the mouse to drag and drop actions onto or off the W crosshop bar. So as a controller player, I can benefit with this one now, which is cool. Gradation of the main menu background and the gamepad has been improved to adjust visibility. So there's like a big when you press, like I play on a PlayStation controller, so when I press start, like the drop down menu appears for all the options, but there's like a big like blur covering the front. They took that out, like long story short. So now it's just gonna show the menus, and you can still see behind you, which will be nice. The DualSense Sedge wireless controller can now be used on Windows, which is not this one, but this is a DualSense controller. I don't have an edge controller, but it's the one with the buttons in the back, basically. And then DualSense wireless controllers, and can be used via Bluetooth on Windows. Yes, you can't. You actually can't. That's why I've been playing this wired the whole time. You actually cannot use this controller wirelessly to play 14. It does not work. I did not know that. I mean, I've been so used to doing it with a cable. So, when connected in a 120Hz monitor, the maximum frame rate for PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series S is now 120 frames. When playing on the Xbox Series S or PS5, trophies and achievements can be attained or unlocked if the requirements have been fulfilled while playing on the platforms. That's cool. So, if your 14 account is connected to a PlayStation 5 and Xbox registered system, then if you have all the trophies for PS5, you just auto unlock them all for Xbox. That's cool. When playing on PS5, a system message will now be displayed indicating when players load the PS4 version of the game. Interesting. The following options relate to character configuration menus. The general... Oh, this is for the NPCs. Cool. Supplementary explanations of the graphical options added to the display section in the configuration menu for system. Okay, yeah. So you got all those. Cool. The following additions to system config in Windows and Mac. So the frame data setting is play. Also 3060 and then main display refresh rate. Okay. They changed the resolution stuff for the graphics. Lots of graphic changes. And the following addition is made to the system configuration interface for PS4, PS5, Xbox Series S. Okay. Yeah, so similar thing basically. Text command. You have all the new macros. So you got Facebook, face row list, auto tiger priority, mute list, term filter, visual alerts, color filtering. Also, the following text can be used to adjust volume levels even during events such as cutscenes. So that's really cool actually. You can turn these off, and then I do highly recommend you hold on to the sound effects other. This is actually so nice. So when you're in the middle of talking but there's no cutscene, or when you're gonna finish a cutscene and then go into dialogue, this will be helpful for when there's MSQ and like seasonal events. You can type that out while you're in the middle of the cutscene, and it'll just like turn that off. So that way when you get out of it, you're not being spammed with that emote sound, or if someone's like spamming healing spells, or like when all the minions come back, you won't hear that sound. I do highly recommend that. New parameters have been added to the HUD text command job group 1 and 2. Cool. New parameters for new jobs and areas have been added to switch text command. Cool. Pet size as a separate syllable Bahamut. Additions made to auto selection diary. New things made for the autocomplete diary for PS4 and PS5. New achievements, new music, new voices, new layout. The launcher has changed officially. Yep, we do have that ready. We are already like downloaded. The game has been pre-loadable since as of yesterday, which surprisingly enough. But you do have yourself the official. Here you go. This is what it looks like. So you got the background of Dawntrail's thing. It also might show him here as well. I saw that when I was actually preloading the game. So yeah, very cool. The following additions have been just to the title screen. So yeah, we got the options licensing has been added to the title screen. The configuration has been renamed into system configuration. So it just says configuration, now it'll say system config, which is cool. The installation details have been added within the options, which is cool. Yeah, all that good stuff. So, display of certain window names have been changed in the world selection window, which is cool. Add to registration to use the world visit system, accessing an Etheroi and selecting world visit another world server will display your pending registration, which is cool. Retain registration cannot be assigned via the companion app. This is actually one of the biggest changes ever. So, one of the biggest like problems that we had was that you had the companion app, but you couldn't actually make people go on adventures. So if you were like away or something and you were like working on your retainers, you couldn't actually like assign your retainers to do anything in the app. Now you actually can. Thank goodness, because if there's one thing I literally got that app to specifically use for retainers, and they didn't apply that. Now the thing is that there is like a currency to use the app, and you get it over time, but you can still just do it though. I like that personally, so that's awesome. Viper and Pikmin have been added to the solo rankings for House of the Dead, Heaven High, and Orthos. So there you go. And now we have ourselves all the bugs that have been resolved at least, which is fine. Let me see if I'm gonna like breeze through this real quick and just see if there's anything that I can actually point out that I noticed or like I did notice. I did not know that, so that's cool. I've never seen that before. Nothing that really comes into mind. The only one that I thought about was that Warden's Pain one, but I would have not noticed. That's the only one that I was kind of like, oh, you know. And then we do have a lot of like known issues, which is like they will address it. Wait, I just read that really quickly. There is an issue when playing Gunbreaker wherein the action icon for Gnashing Fang loses its highlighting after executing Rated Beast. Oh, okay. Okay. Alright, cool. And that's all. So yeah, that's all the changes. I mean, long cover, but you know, here we are. Honestly, all of these changes are exciting to look forward to in terms of Dawntrail, so I hope you guys are also equally as excited for it as I am. I cannot wait for this to actually come into full effect. It's going to be incredible, actually. So, there you go. Well, like I said, we'll check out the job action stuff tomorrow. And hey, happy Dawntrail Day, everybody. Hope you guys are all looking forward to it, and I will see you guys all literally tomorrow. Take care.